angels, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay and we are exploring the dark femme aesthetic, the femme fatale, embodying all that powerful sexual energy. And we are going to explore that dark femme style together. So grab your cup of tea, pull up a chair and let's get into it. A dark feminine style is something that is heavily influenced on being mysterious, a bit seductive, very sort of sexy, very woman empowerment. I think aesthetics and fashion inspired by film, literature, sophistication, sensuality. It's both a feminine and edgy look. We have seen this represented so well in media. So take actresses like Sharon Stone for example. She is an iconic sex symbol of the 90s. Her role in Basic Instinct completely encapsulated that femme fatale kind of vibe. When I think of dark femme, I always think about Angelina Jolie. She's just so, I don't know, there's just something about her that is so dark femme to me. Her in Girl Interrupted or her in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, just very, you can tell she's in control. You can tell she has control over her situation and her life, and she's confident and completely all about her own, staying in her own lane and being unbothered by everything else. The icons from this decade, I would say you've got people like Mia Goth. She's very like, something about her, I don't know what it is. There's just something about Mia Goth that's like. And then of course you have Lana Del Rey. She is just everything that is dark femme, very alluring, very edgy and sensual. You know, it's just got a certain energy about it. So the key features of being a dark femme woman is very mysterious and very alluring. You want to pique an air of interest for people and you want to have confidence in yourself. Kind of like you don't see anybody else in the room. You're just so focused on yourself. Everything else is kind of blurred out, which takes a hell of a lot of practice. Women that have a dark femme style are also elegant and well carried, and I think tying back into like the confidence part, it's like being feminine and being elegant but also being very strong. You can just sense that strength, you can sense that energy of confidence but mixed with such sheer femininity. It's so beautiful. So the colour palette of a dark femme is actually very concise, and I'd even say probably the wardrobe of a dark femme is very capsule wardrobe. You know, there's a lot you can do with a small amount of pieces. So in terms of the colour palette, the main colour you want to focus on is black. I feel like black is such a mysterious colour and it suits everybody. Anyone can pull off black and it's such an alluring colour in my mind. I feel like there's so much feminine power with wearing black. I absolutely adore wearing black. There's just so much femininity and there's so much power and strength in black. And then a complementing colour of this would obviously be your burgundy, your dark red, your cherry red. Like, you want to think of colour theory and what these colours are representing. So black is very mysterious, alluring. You've got red, which is obviously romance and passion and sexuality, and mixing those two together is a perfect blend for being that dark femme. You can also then mix in other colours. So I think that dark femmes have a very dark earthy colour palette, so you can really get away with dark navy, dark green, anything that's kind of muted or just a darker tone works really well. And you want to avoid bright in your face colours, your pastels, anything that's quite cutesy, and go the other way and be very vampiric, very siren-like. That's how I describe it. So the key elements of items that you want to have in your wardrobe if you are transforming it over to a dark femme style is a lot of textures. So think lace, leather, velvet, mesh. You can do so much with texture, which is why I think black, even if you had an all black wardrobe, would still be so dimensional because you can have so many different black pieces with contrasting materials and fabrics that make each individual outfit so interesting and so much more complex. So specifically think like lace tights or tights with like interesting designs or patterns on them. Something that I particularly find incredibly sexy is them tights that have the black line that like run up the back of the tights. Like, why is that so sexy? I don't know, but it is. Like, where does the line go? Who knows? Does it go all the way up? I bet it does. Something I absolutely love for a dark femme style as well is gloves. So lace gloves or mesh gloves can be so sexy and so powerful. I don't really see people wear stuff like that anymore. I just really think it is a underrated accessory for an outfit. Think things like bodysuits, sort of like lingerie as everyday wear, corsets. And I also feel like women who wear masculine clothes but embody something that's really feminine about themselves is a really powerful example of the dark femme style style. So for example, wearing trousers, like my favorite pair of trousers are these black tailored trousers, and I just feel so chic and powerful and feminine but in control in these trousers. Like, who would have thought trousers can do so much? But honestly, they are so nice. And paired with like a blazer, I just feel sorted. I just feel so on it, so in control. Like, it's great. I don't believe I can pull it off, but women who wear shirts, like a nice white tailored structured shirt, maybe tucked into some trousers or however they want to style it, just looks so good in my opinion. And even if it is not in keeping with the color palette of a dark femme, I still think, because it's that contrast for me, it's that contrast of masculine energy and being confident and being bold mixed with the gentleness and the softness and the sensuality of being a woman and being feminine, and merging them together, it's just such a nice combination. And I feel like that's where dark femme leans, is that kind of them kind of styles, that bold mix of the two. So pieces that I would buy if I was starting out on my dark femme journey would include leather jackets. In my opinion, leather jackets are so good just to throw on top of anything, whatever season, obviously depending on where you live. I'm from the UK, so it doesn't get too hot here, so I can kind of get away with it. But I'm talking about either like a trench leather jacket or a leather jacket that kind of hits at your thigh, just something that can kind of meet a mini skirt if you want to wear a mini skirt. I think that's incredibly sexy. It's just showing quite a lot of leg, and then pair it with some nice heels. I'd go for like a black or burgundy. Obviously black can go with anything, whereas if you pick burgundy you might not actually be able to wear it with anything, so that's just something to keep in mind. I definitely look at picking up some tailored blazers. Like I say, that contrast of the masculine workwear paired with the feminine energy is the golden ratio for me. So yeah, tailored jackets, tailored blazers, anything that's quite form-fitting but still structured. Think about things like your long line coats, your belted leather coats, like anything like that would be a fantastic starting point. I would also pick up some leather boots, you know, just to complement that leather jacket. If you can get black and black, that would be ideal, because leather boots again will go with anything. And if you can get sort of like calf height or knee height, that is the best. And then you can just pair those things with so much and make so many different outfits. Like I say, trousers, if you've got like a mini skirt, it all just works so fluidly and so well with each other. And I always try and think about it like having a black base with burgundy pops of colour, or vice versa. And you can even just layer blacks. Like I say, there's so much power within wearing black on black if there's different textures at play. In terms of accessories that you want to look for, I feel like silver hardware is the go-to for dark femme. Obviously, if you don't vibe with silver, then that's completely fine. It works really well with black and burgundy. I feel like it really embodies that kind of soft femme. I'd say dark femme is very close to sort of like gothic romantic. They're very sort of interchangeable. So minimalistic gothic jewelry can work really well for this type of aesthetic. Things like minimalist watches, you know, like the square-faced watches, they work so well. You can really bring out that elegant energy, that feminine energy within jewelry. And it doesn't matter how masculine you necessarily dress, but if you are getting your accessories right and adding these dainty feminine pieces, it really changes the whole vibe of the outfit, and it really just gives that sort of femme fatale energy. You don't want to overdo it either, so I wouldn't be layering like belts and earrings and necklaces like all in one. I'd kind of pick like maybe a statement pair of earrings, maybe like a nice dainty necklace. Don't overdo it with the jewelry on the hands, because then you go from your dark femme to that more gothic style, and it's quite easy to slip into that. So just remember to keep it light, keep it feminine. So when it comes to the clothes, you want them to be tailored. As form-fitting as possible is better. You want to accentuate that figure. Everything about dark femme is empowerment of the female body, boldness and confidence of the female body. So you want to just show that off. You want to be teasing it. You want to be putting it out there with complete confidence. Not in like a tarty way, you don't need to get your bum and your boobies out, but in a way that's you could be covered, but maybe you've got something that is form-fitting. Maybe you've got a corset over some lingerie or a bodysuit, and you can see the angles of your body without it being revealing at all. You know, even with a jacket over the top, it's hinting at what's underneath because you're drawing the attention to what's underneath. And things like silk, so if you had a silk dress, things like that can really easily be cinched in and can look really feminine and effortless. So I always like to pair silk dresses, the leather harness or something because it adds that hardware, it adds that sort of masculine energy while it's still incredibly light and feminine at the same time. So because we're accentuating our body, when it comes to shoes, you want to think of things that are going to add extra height and dimension onto you. So if you could add heels, that's preferable. Anything with like a pointed toe will make your legs look longer. If you're wearing like a mini skirt, if you're wearing full length trousers, you can still do that, but to get the full effect, you'd want to be wearing a skirt or a mini skirt and then a pointed toe shoe, and that's really going to make your legs look longer. And the dark femme style works really well with things like kitten heels, just very feminine. It doesn't need to be in your face, it doesn't need to be over the top. But if you can elongate your leg, then it's going to draw the eyes up to your outfit. And I think it's really important not to skip over the little details as well. So think like dark red nails, a dark red lip, for example. Pay attention to your jewelry and just do it very intentionally. Think minimalistic and light when dressing. Look at things like fox eye makeup or very smoky eye, because that is very femme fatale. And I feel like people that dress in a dark femme way don't have overly curled hair. So they'll have like either sleek and straight or very bouncy, glamorous blow dry. It won't be like curls. So that's just something to bear in mind as well. Obviously, if you have natural, beautiful curls, that's completely fine. I mean, intentionally done with a curling wand. And by doing all these things and taking on these tips, you can definitely encapsulate the dark femme style. However, ultimately, the majority of being a femme fatale, dark feminine is ultimately your energy, the energy that you give off. You want to give that allure, you want to give that confidence. You have to find yourself sexy, you have to find yourself comfortable with your sexuality and your femininity and being a woman. Because to me, that is everything that a femme fatale is. She is so strong and so empowered by being a woman, because being a woman is fantastic. Being a woman is amazing. And you need to feel that too. You know, you are a beautiful, gorgeous woman, and you can do this. You just need to, you know, you have to have a little bit of spice. You have to have a little bit of something going on, and you just got to believe in yourself. Think sexy, think flirtatious. Imagine yourself having this red, alluring aura. That is dark femme. It's an attitude, it is a confidence. So lovely people, that is everything that I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you'd like some more tips on maybe confidence or how to get that feminine, sensual energy and just embody that even more, then let me know down below, because I really resonate with dark femme, and I love being a woman so much. I love my feminine energy. I adore being a woman, and I feel like I just completely embody my feminine energy. Like I just vibrate with it, you know? And I want you guys to feel that too. I want you to feel so proud and so untouchable as a woman. So my beautiful people, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!